Word up, food tubers, Jamie Oliver here, and today is a very important day because it is the 4th of July, and for our American brothers and sisters, we are celebrating Independence Day. Oh yeah. Just a minute, isn't that when you kick the British out? Get rid of those flags. In your Declaration of Independence, you said that every man has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Look down there. Because in the pursuit of happiness, beautiful things are gonna happen into this bowl. We're gonna do a New York cheesecake. I've got a beautiful recipe that's gonna knock your socks off. Let's get on with it. In a processor, I've got 350 grams of digestive biscuits. I'm going 70 grams of good quality dark chocolate, okay? So that's a little tweak there. Going in, let's whiz that up. In this little pan here is 125 grams of butter. We're just gonna melt that down and put that into the machine. We'll whiz that up. So that is ready and raring to go. The first thing I'm gonna do is put all of our cheesecake base. That's that done. This is gonna go with the chocolate and the butter. Of course, that's gonna make this base go super crunchy. Okay, that's the base done. Now for the filling. I need 900 grams of really good quality cream cheese. Into that, we're gonna put 5 whole eggs. Make sure they're free range. So crack them in. There we go. Very simple. We're gonna sweeten it. So I'm gonna go 150 grams of sugar. Also, I'm gonna put in some vanilla. Just get your knife in the pod and run it down the length. Then use the side of your knife to scrape out those seeds. And then that, my friends, is like turbocharged vanilla flavor. Really, really gorgeous. So this goes in as well. And then as soon as it's got roughly mixed up, I want to get some acidity and flavor in there. And I'm going to use the juice of 6 limes. So in they go. So look, lime has gone in. And then we're going to go straight in. Beautiful. So there you go, guys. That is our beautiful cheesecake, ready and raring to go into the oven. That will sort of plump up and cook and get a little bit of color. So get it in the oven at 160 degrees Celsius, which is 310 Fahrenheit, which is gas mark 2.5. Okay, so that cheesecake is now cooked. It's had 40 to 50 minutes in the oven, and it looks a little bit like this. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And that is beautiful in itself. Lime is best friends with coconut, okay? So I want to do an amazing coconut meringue. Really, really simple. I've got 110 grams of sugar that goes in, like that. I've got 3 egg whites. So I just want to divide the egg and catch the yolk in here. Pinch of salt is going to go in. That just helps it get a little bit fluffier. And then whack it on full whack, New York cheesecake. Oh no, wrong knob. Nice. So in a matter of minutes, we've gone from boring old eggs and sugar. We've got something that is soft peaks like that, which means, look, it's just hanging. Absolutely gorgeous. If you touch it between your hands, it's not granular, it's absolutely silky smooth. So over here, guys, and I'm gonna put 40 grams of desiccated coconut, okay? The coconut will work so well with the lime. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that in. It's a really nice sort of tropical flavor. It's the 4th of July, man. We can do what we want. Get yourself a piping bag, cut off the end. I'm getting a little star-shaped nozzle, which is gonna be nice. And I'm gonna fill up that bag like that. Very important to lick your fingers when making cake. And don't let anyone else tell any different, unless it's for customers, of course. Right, just grab the top here, like this, with your thumb and your forefinger, twist it around like this, and then it will just naturally push out the filling to here. So we're gonna go in the middle. Really great to do with kids, they love all this. And then go back in the little holes. Now that's gonna go back into the oven at 220 degrees Celsius, which is 425 Fahrenheit, which is gas mark 7 or something like that. Just for 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, just to put a bit of color. And then what I wanna do is put it in the fridge for at least 3 hours to get it super cold. So over here, I've got one that's come out of the fridge. Get yourself a nice knife, big one, go to the middle, go right down. Of course, once it's been put in the fridge, it's much easier to cut. We go here. Of course, if you want to go for a little bit of the sauce, you can just go straight in there. Look at that. Wonderful, gorgeous. My version of a New York cheesecake, absolutely pimped to the hilt. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Hi guys, okay, so we're gonna make the most incredible potato salad. Potato salad is the best, but many of us get them from the supermarkets. I don't think they're very good. So, real deal potato salad. The flavors are phenomenal and the textures as well. And I'm gonna show you them 3 ways, almost like an evolution of this very, very simple salad. Here we have got new potatoes boiling. Always put the new potatoes into boiling water as opposed to cold and bringing them up. This preserves the flavor and the nutrients. So these have been cooking for about 15 minutes. You can sort of tell when they're cooked, when you can get them out and you can just squash them. Lovely. Let's drain these, cut them up into little quarters. If some completely break up and sort of smash into almost like potato snow, that's fine because it'll make your dressing more interesting, so don't be worried about that. Gorgeous extra virgin cold pressed olive oil, season with some salt and pepper, and we're going to go in with some lemon. We don't have to waste the skin. If you've got one of these little fine graters, give it a few little swoops of the lemon skin. No bitterness there at all, just pure flavour. And then the juice going in. Often when you flavour things when they're cold, it just sits on the outside. Because it's hot, you know, whatever you put in now will go in to the actual veggie. So this is beautiful. So with our bowl, we'll give it a nice little toss. And that is your basic salad. Then we're gonna add our flavours. So some chives, parsley, a little bit of mint. We'll roll it up almost like a kind of herby cigar. We'll just finely slice it the best we can. Chives have got that very delicate onion smell, very gentle. This is rock chopping. You can easily do a great job by cross chopping, and that's the simplest, safest way. Just grab your hand flat like that and just go through it into the potatoes right there. We'll have a little taste. Really happy with that. As it is, gorgeous, but we can take it on a little bit, okay? So if you wanted it to be a little creamy, you could just slap a load of mayonnaise in there, but to be honest, mayonnaise is nice, but I prefer really good quality yogurt, and it will give you that creaminess. So 2 or 3 tablespoons of yogurt, and just toss that up. That's perfectly lovely, but I think we could add some flavour to that as well. English mustard for me, a teaspoon is the way to do it. It just gives it a really nice hum. So I'm really happy with that, but there's more we can do. Get 2 or 3 rashers of bacon, smoked, it has to be smoked, and just finely slice the bacon, and in a matter of minutes, you can get them super crispy. So the fat will render out of the bacon, crispy and golden. Get the bacon out and let this cool down. That's going to give an amazing crunch. And then that fat is just absolutely gagging to have breadcrumbs cooked in it. So crispy bacon bits, crispy breadcrumbs, another level. This is a really, really delicious thing to do. So there are our crispy bacon bits. We'll just sprinkle those over the potato salad. Smokiness, little crunch, little savoury. Breadcrumbs over the top, it should sizzle, and you've got all the lovely flavour from that bacon into breadcrumbs. Delicious. Good flavour, clean, crunchy, soft, so really, really nice. Love this on picnics, barbecues, serving it with roasted meats. So there you go, potato salad 3 ways. Enjoy, cook it, love it, and see you next time. Take care. Hello lovely people. Okay, I'm going to give you our secret burger mayonnaise recipe. People love burger mayonnaise, it's awesome. But you don't just have to use this on burgers, it's great with wedgies, jacket potatoes, roast potatoes, chips, beautiful grilled chicken. It's a wonderful kind of cocktail sauce in its own right, okay? So let's do it, guys. We've got the mayonnaise in there. We're going to go in with a teaspoon of French mustard, 2 teaspoons of ketchup, and then I'm going to go in with 2 teaspoons of gorgeous sun-dried tomato paste. It just tastes like sunshine. We want that in our sauce, okay? Then just the juice of about 1/4 of a lemon. We want that twang going in there, lovely people. And then the gem, about that much. If you finely slice this, there's a sweetness here that's incredible. You could use iceberg, by the way. Weirdly, it does maintain a crunch at the same time as going soft. I know, it sounds like I'm not making sense, but it does exactly that. And this kind of clings and absorbs the sauce, but also it stops the sauce kind of just running out of the burger. And then we're gonna go for the shallots. Now, you want a nice mild onion, finely chopped, and about a heaped teaspoon, like that. We got some lovely crunchy dill pickles, a little chunk. That's gonna give you that crunch, that acidity, that seasoning. It's gonna be delicious. Now this is an exciting thing, right? Famous in Italy, mostarda di Cremona. It's hot. It's got a really unusual mustard heat. We're gonna add some of that syrup, but also we're gonna chop up just a little teaspoon of this lovely mustard onions. And you can source this in good Italian delis. Mix it up. It's as simple as that. This quantity here is enough to do 6 to 8 burgers. It will keep in the fridge for 2-3 days. And that's it, guys. The ultimate Italian cocktail sauce for burgers. Until next time, bye-bye from me. Woo! Mostarda di Cremona! Woo! Lovely people, we are gonna make the most incredible mac and cheese. I've got a recipe for you that's gonna blow your mind. You interested? Let's do this. First up, a nice big knob of butter into a pan. Finely slice 3 of these onions. As the butter comes up to the heat, 15 minutes to make these onions go sweet and gorgeous. Medium-high heat, a stir every now and again, beautiful. So after 15 minutes, you can see the onions have shrunk back down. It's lightly golden. So I'll take 3 tablespoons of flour, and that's our thickening agent to turn our milk into a silky, gorgeous sauce. And that will immediately suck up all of the moisture from the onions. And then I've got a litre of milk. So slowly, slowly, we'll add that milk. As soon as it's absorbed, we'll add some more. So the rest of the milk goes in, and we're gonna let that simmer while we cook the pasta. So of course, we're using macaroni. I'm only gonna cook this for 5 minutes. I wanna half cook the pasta, and then let this simmer while we get onto the other flavorings of this sauce. So when it comes to choosing the cheese, you could do one, of course you could, but I wanna do it my style, right? I want that balance of flavor, depth of flavor, and stringiness, ooziness. 100 grams of cheddar. Now that's a good flavor and a good melter. Then we're gonna go to a really stringy, gorgeous cheese. So this is a raclette, but you could absolutely use a lovely Gruyere. 100 grams goes in like that. And then Parmesan. I'll do that on a finer side. And Parmesan just has that amazing ability to join up flavors, make it all make sense. Now let's just talk about nutrition. This is not a green dish, but it is one of the most beautiful things ever. But also, as indulgent as this is, it's a brilliant carrier of seasonal veggies. So lovely fresh or frozen peas, bang, amazing. Getting asparagus in there, fantastic. Handful of spinach. But today, we're keeping it really simple. And this pasta has had nearly 5 minutes. Get into this pasta water and steal some of this starchy water, and we might need that later. We've only half cooked the pasta, and there's good reason for that, because when it carries on its journey of cooking, it's sucking up that flavor, not water. So I'll get that in, and I'll save back just a little bit for on top later. A teaspoon of English mustard gives it an amazing color and gentle heat. A little hack of a friend of mine that they swore by. And I tried it, and I did it as a blind taste because I swore that it wouldn't work, and it did. Mango chutney, 1 teaspoon. Slightly strange, but go with it. We're gonna add a little bit of this starchy water to get ooziness and silkiness. So it's really important to do this off the heat. We don't want to be boiling cheese. At this point in the story, we go in with our macaroni, give it a nice little toss up. Oh, I'm excited. And I forgot one seasoning. Of course, Worcestershire sauce. A good couple of little swigs in there, and we are good to go. We're gonna take this gorgeous, silky, pasta-y goodness. Look at that. So that goes in the oven for half an hour at 200 degrees Celsius, which is 400 Fahrenheit. Now, what I wanna do to make it even better is contrast that creamy, cheesy gorgeousness. So we're gonna make a pangrattata. Bacon, herb, garlic, what's not to love? As it starts to get lightly golden, that is your cue to put the breadcrumbs in. And these flavoured breadcrumbs are like a gift on a simple pasta dish, even lovely stews. Amazing. These breadcrumbs have gone golden and crunchy. They smell amazing. Come on, half an hour. Oh, look at that. Come on. Mac and cheese, beautifulness. Crack. Come on. You know it makes sense. A few beautiful salad leaves, the ultimate smoky bacon. Crispy bits. Enough talking, let's just eat it. That's what we want. Nice cheesy bits. Like the depth of flavour is off the hook. One of the things I like to do, which is my own personal problem, is to take a vulnerable, empty gem lettuce leaf and then load it with mac and cheese. And I actually do this at home, and my kids are around the table, and they're just looking at me going, you are such an idiot, you are like. But then when they try it, they realise that I'm a missionary, trying to make the world a better place through mac and cheese. Don't judge me. I say no more, but you'll love it. Okay, lovely food tubers, now it's time to learn how to do the perfect steak ever in the whole wide world. It will change the way that you cook steak forever. No more tough steaks. These are the 4 conventional prime cuts of steak. The sirloin, £32 a kilo today. Ribeye, that's £32 a kilo as well. Fillet, that's the prize jewels, £54 a kilo. And here, rump is £25 a kilo. I have a little secret steak that I'd like to tell you is my favourite steak, better than all of those 4 prime cuts. This, my friend, is the feather blade steak, or the blade steak, or in America you call it the flat iron steak. Look at the fat marbling here, it's absolutely delicious. If you give me the fillet, I'll throw it back to you. You give me this, yes mother, that's what we're talking about. Come and have a look at this as well. £17.90 a kilo for really good quality beef, right? This is the blade. So it sits about here, like that. Moo. It's these hard sinews that kind of make this cut a little bit unfashionable. Once you've taken it out, you're left with the best steak ever. Any good butcher will do this for you. Phone them up, say I want a feather blade or a flat iron steak, they'll do it for you. We're gonna put a little bit of oil over the steak here. I've got a thick bottom pan on a very high heat. I'm gonna rub the steak all over with the oil, heavy on the pepper, heavy on the salt, pat it in, salt and pepper on both sides. So we go to a pan, I'm going to put just a little oil in here as well. I'm going to go in with the steak. I'm just going to wipe my hands. Also, very importantly, do not take your steak from the fridge and cook it. Take the steak out of the fridge for an hour before you use it, cover it, let it kind of get to room temperature. If it's screaming cold in the middle and screaming hot on the outside, it's going to toughen up, be horrible and fairly miserable. The flat iron steak really benefits from being cooked medium rare. I'm going to turn it once a minute, every minute. You want even cooking from both sides. So being equal with both sides keeps the moisture in the middle, which means when you rest it, it then comes back out again and gives you a beautiful, juicy steak. That's the way I do it, that's the way all my chefs do it, that's the way my steakhouse does it, and that's the way I think you should do it. The supermarkets around the world love to sell you a portion, kind of 8 ounces. I would advise go into a butcher's and instead of getting a thin little centimetre steak, get a double steak. That will serve 2 people. That way you can create a really dark outside and it can still be medium rare in the middle. If it's half the size of that, whatever you do to it is going to be well done. It's almost impossible to cook to your liking. If you love food, get a double steak. Now there's a couple of little things you can do for a sort of beautiful natural flavour. My friend Adam Perry Lang, he used to like rubbing the steak as he turned it with a little garlic. It's very subtle. I actually really like that. Another thing that you can do is you can get a little butter. When you turn the steak and it's sizzling on top, get that butter and just put it on top, just like that. And that sweetness from the butter is really beautiful. And again, that's going to add to that beautiful caramelization. And my last little trick is herbs. This is thyme, you could use rosemary, you could use oregano. What I do is go into this pan and just take that fat and just give it a ruddy good whipping. And that will again put in beautiful flavour. Oh, I've cooked this now for about 3 minutes on each side. As soon as that comes off, you give it another little whip of the herbs. The juices are starting to come out. That's gorgeous, that's like a little free gravy just for you. Let it rest for 2 minutes. That method of cooking a steak applies to cooking over wood, charcoal, and any of these classic prime cuts. Let's come back to the steak over here. I'll cook this medium, okay, which is the max you want to go. This is nice. My wife would love this. I would like it a little bit more bloody. Look at that. Feather blade steak, it's just the bomb. Not many people know about it, so it's super, super cool. Good quality extra virgin olive oil here. And if you shake it, it just marbles. That, my friends, will be the perfect steak. This was £17 a kilo instead of £54 a kilo for a fillet. Let's have a little try of this steak. So good. I prefer it to a fillet steak anytime. I'll be happy to never ever have it again. That is where it's at. So there you go, guys. That's the perfect steak. That's the feather blade steak or the flat iron steak. Amazing. Go talk to your butcher. Thank you very much, guys. Lots of love, Mr. Oliver.